We feel so much love and appreciation for your willingness to be in this body. It's a good body. We have so much appreciation for you to be willing to play your role in our co-creation, because you've got the hard part. You're out here on the bleeding edge where you're exposed to conditions that you take in and sometimes you take to heart. And you knew when you made the decision to do it that you'd see some things that you didn't want to see, but you knew it was worth it because you knew out of seeing what you didn't want that you would be able to, in the unique way that is you would be able to come to conclusions about improvements, not just for you, but for the people you love and for the world that you love. You knew that these ideas would burst out of you. And you knew that when they did, that there'd be a gap, because you knew that the very contrast that provided you the launching of the rocket was going to hold you in contradiction to the new rocket for a while. But you knew that we would keep our promise to you. That's why you weren't surprised to meet up with us. You knew that we would keep our promise and that we would not take our eyes off of your goals, of your objectives. And you knew that that's how it worked. But somehow you did a little tricky twist on yourself, because you've decided to beat up on yourself for not always easily going right along. You say to yourself, I know this stuff, why don't I just go with that flow? And the answer to that is because law of attraction won't let you, and that's a normal thing. And sometimes it has to get worse and worse and worse before you ask for more and more and more. But it gets easier and easier for you all the time. Have you noticed that? We are taking so much delight in how much you do catch on to right away, and how much resistance you're leaving aside, and how much resistance that was one time active in you, a lot, that is no longer active or rarely active within you. And so our wish for you is that you feel about you as we do. And of course, that's not a possible thing, really, because you are your perspective and we are our perspective. But we are dominant, and we do have you outnumbered. We really do know who you are. And at moments when you are in lesser resistance, you get more and more sweeping feelings of who you are. So that feeling of resonance that we were talking about, you're feeling more of the time. And when it comes, you know it. And now what we're really hearing from you is not that you don't know, and not that you aren't often in complete alignment with it, but that the sublime of the alignment is so sublime that you can't bear it when you're not. Well, you've just got to suck it up. You've just got to accept that that's going to be that way, that it can't feel good when you're not in alignment, and it always feels good when you do. And both are part of the bargain that you struck when you decided to come. So it's time for you to stop beating up on yourself for every little bit of negative emotion. Esther saw coffee spilled all over all of them, and she said, I did that. And there was something about the universe humorously delivering to her something that was a vibrational match to how she was feeling, that made her feel extra, extra loved. Isn't it nice that law of attraction responds to you truly, honestly? That law of attraction doesn't play games with you, that it's always consistent? And isn't it a wonderful thing that we, your inner beings, stand in full appreciation of you no matter what you're doing? And isn't it nice to know that the way you feel can't be separated from the way we feel? Aren't you glad to know that you have all of these options? And aren't you glad to be in an environment of such freedom, where you're free to think whatever thoughts you choose to think, and that the thoughts that you think are always in relationship to the thoughts that your inner being is thinking? Can you imagine a more perfect guidance system than that? Don't you feel blessed that every step that you take, you have someone else walking with you and loving you and knowing you and not doing it for you? Would you want us to do it for you? You would not allow us to do it for you. Even if we could do it for you, you would not want us to do it for you. Because you are the creator of your reality. You are a leading edge being out here on this leading edge. And we are your support system, and what you accomplish, we all benefit from. But this is your game that we are all involved in. And it's a big game, and it matters immensely to all of us. And there is great love here for you. So the best thing that you took from all of this is that when I feel bad, I'm extra loved.
Right.
That's what that means. Source must be really loving me because I'm really hurting as I block it off. And I don't have to block it off. I'm just choosing to because I have some stupid thing that I've been thinking about that's causing me to feel sorry for myself again. I've chosen the victim role again. I'm feeling vulnerable again. And my inner being isn't having any of it, because if my inner being were in agreement, I'd feel great. But my inner being isn't having any of it. And so, how about that?
Wow, thank you so much.
Yeah. There is great love here for you.
Thank you.
Specifically for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.